We are live.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. I'm Jenna. We are in my courtyard and we have a fun hour or two today. My good friend Bonnie Bernstein's gonna come hang out with me. I've known her for years. We went way back to the times of standing in a locker room in, you name the city, you name the team, you name the season, talking about what our future was going to be like. And now I'm sitting in our future. So now she's going to come back on and we're going to talk about our next future. So it's going to be fun. But I was talking to my best friend Marnie today and I said to her, what am I going to talk about on the show? She's like, you've had the most miserable week. I was like, I know, no one wants to hear about the craziness with my kids. She goes, everybody wants to hear about the mishigas with your kids. Trust me, that's what they want to hear about. So whether you want to hear about this or not, and I fully understand before I tell you what I'm about to tell you that this is complete and utter hashtag first world problems. I totally get that. But I'm going to tell you what happened to me last week anyway. So show of hands, how many of you guys celebrate Passover? Okay, there's like one or two of you. That's great. I don't even know if anyone's watching. So my dearly beloved, my Stephanie, it was gone. She's been gone a lot lately. She's traveling. She's covering the Prince story. So she's away, and I had to get both my little darling angels. Let's recap. My little Quinn is 14 months, and my older one, Harper, is 2.5 years old. So let's recap the recap. A 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. Get them into little dresses. Get them fed, diapers changed, bottles in, packed up, into the car. If you live in the city, the car is never anywhere where you are. Bring the car around, both girls. That's why my biceps look like the way they do. Everyone in the car. I managed to do it with a little bit of sanity and a slight bit of respect and no grace whatsoever. But everybody was in, we were strapped in, and we were off and going. So my parents moved a couple weeks ago to do different places in Westchester. But there are all these crazy roads. It's like going to New Jersey. There's 1,000 different ways you can go and all different routes, and the signs alone confuse you. I would never be a NASCAR driver. So get in the car and we start driving, and what do? I missed the first highway. I was supposed to get on the Sprain. Somehow I missed the Sprain and I'm on the Cross Bronx. The Cross Bronx is like that famous Van Wyck from Seinfeld. And then we hit the Van Wyck. Everything changed. To me, that's what the Cross Bronx is. So now I'm on the Cross Bronx. I might as well have been in Saudi Arabia. No idea where I was. No idea. I wasn't even English that were on the signs. I had no idea. And all of a sudden, I start passing through a town. I'm like, what is that, mulch? They're mulching here? I'm like, boy, that is really intense. And Harper's talking about something, and she's trying to get my attention, but I couldn't be bothered because I was lost, and it smelled like mulch. So we get through the second town, and guess what? Still smells like mulch. And Harper's trying to tell me something, and I got the mulch, and I'm lost, and I don't know where I am. The GPS is all kinds of messed up. And boy, the entire area off the Cross Bronx smells like mulch, like terrible, awful, like stinky mulch. Finally, I kind of decipher some of the gibber-gabber that Harper is telling me, and it's something along the lines of, a Quinny a messy, a Quinny a spit up, a Quinny messy. And I'm like, Harper, it's okay if she spit up, honey, we're in the car, like, let's just wait till we get to, yum pop-ups, we call them, and then we'll clean it up. She goes, okay, and boy, it reeked. And finally, I was like, God, I don't know where I am, and that smell, I physically could not take it. I had to roll down the window. So I look back at Harper, and I go, Harper, did Quinny spit up again? And Harper looks over at Quinny, and she goes, mind you, the kid is too, she goes, Mama, it's not good. Just like that. So I pull over. I ended up in Mount Vernon in somebody's driveway. Now, mind you, I'm wearing a nice outfit. It's Passover. My kids are in dresses. I open up the car. Now, my eyes can't unsee what it is that I saw with little Quinn, the 14-month-old. There was vomit from here to there. It was literally everywhere, fully covered her entire outfit, her body, her pacifier, the car seat, the car. It was splattered. It was absolutely disgusting. Now, granted, it was my fault. I gave her a blueberry muffin and milk before we got in the car, and then I drove. You gave her a muffin on Passover? Oh yeah, because I had a whole big thing with my dad whether she can keep kosher or not, whatever. But I figure until they're 5, they can do whatever they want. So yeah, she had the muffin. I did not. Anyway, the muffin didn't stay down long because the muffin was everywhere, and I had nothing. And I didn't know what to do. And all I wanted to do, and tell me if you understand my position, I wanted to call Steph and yell at her for not being there, right? How dare you have work to do? Don't you see what I'm going through? Like, it was so easy for me. Well, thank goodness gracious, Steph was on a plane and it kept going to voicemail because she would have had the wrath. The wrath of Jenna is worse Hell hath no fury, then Jenna scorned. Let's just put it that way. It's a terrible thing
Do you
to be on the
consider
other
it to be scorned when she's out at work?
I don't know. That being said, she couldn't answer the phone, so the next best thing was to call my parents and lay into them for what? And I'm like, I can't believe this. I hate the Bronx, the Cross Bronx. I can't get off this highway. I don't know where I missed the spring. You gave me terrible directions. And my dad's like, fine, I'll get in the car. I'll come help you. I'm like, that's never going to help anyone. So I finally had to stop crying and get a hold of myself. I'm a mother. How hard could this be? I took the last of the wipes and I don't even know where to start, and I'm like wiping her down. And it took a half hour. I went through all the wipes, and it wasn't enough. So then I took her out, and I poured Poland Springs. Literally, I poured water all over the kid. Her completely disrobed. She was in a little diaper, fully wet. It was not a warm day. Fully wet. And then I took my shirt off and literally wrapped her in my shirt. Hey! People are showing up. Wrapped her in my shirt. So let's just set the scene. I'm now driving up to my parents. I'm wearing just a bra. My kid is just in a diaper. The entire car smells like vomit. And I'm driving with my head out the window to Westchester for Passover services. I pull up. My parents are outside waiting to see their grandkids. I take Quinny with one hand. I said, this is for you. I take Harper with the other hand. This is for you. No shame. Walked from the parking lot in my bra because they live in a condominium. That's why I didn't know where I was going, because they just moved to these condos on the river up in Croton. Why did I tell you that? I don't know. And I walked right inside the house. I showered, and then I had to bathe the little one. Now, I had no other clothes, so she got put in her diaper before the big dinner. Now, you're probably thinking, well, that story is terrible, but it's not awful. 10 minutes later, I take everybody to the park, meaning my two kids. Mind you, Stephanie's not there. I'm doing this by myself. What does Harper do? Least coordinated kid I've ever seen in my life. 3 steps at the park, down on her face into a huge, muddy, splashy, gross pile of gosh knows what. Pick her up, basically by the back of her collar, and walk back to my parents' house. Now she has to be bathed. So in a span of 45 minutes, I bathed myself, bathed my 14-month-old, bathed my 2.5-year-old. Everybody's in pajamas. I'm wearing one of my mom's shirts because mine is now in the laundry machine, and we are sitting down for a Passover Seder. And let me just finish the story with this. It was crazy. We're in the car on the way back. I'm driving again by myself, and I'm thinking to myself, yes, today was crazy, right? It was insane. But this is what parenting is all about. And who would I be without these 2 amazing little angels behind me? And yes, they drive me up the wall. I couldn't physically love them more. I love these kids. And as I'm saying this, there was like an Anne Murray song on the radio, and there were like tears pouring down my eye, and I was totally into it. And I'm like, I love these girls. Like, I don't care what they do. Like, they're the most amazing things. I couldn't want it more. And I look in the rearview mirror because they're both sleeping, and they're so peaceful, and they're so lovely. And I look in the mirror, and Harper took her seatbelt off. We're driving in a car. Do you know, nothing keeping her from me just ever so slightly tapping on the brakes and her going through the front windshield. And I couldn't even finish. The tears crawled back up into my eye, if it's possible. They were like, no. Anne Murray went off. It was like heavy metal came on. I had to pull over, and like it took me 45 seconds to stop because I was so worried it was a gradual stop. I stopped for like 4 miles until I finally came to a stop, opened up the door, put her into her seatbelt, slammed the door shut for her to wake up. Why should I be the only one screwed? And we drove back to the city, and happy Passover to me and my family. And that was the first day. So it turns out, the moral of the story, if you think your little one might be car sick, don't give her a blueberry muffin, especially on Passover, and a large thing of milk, and look back quite often to make sure your 2-year-old always has her seatbelt on.
Did she have a helmet on?
She was not wearing a helmet in the car, nor was she wearing ski boots. But let me tell you, I'm starting to rethink the entire driving process. I may put them in a gondola and string some cable wires and send them up to Croton, which is an hour away, up to my parents. So that was just one day. Steph's been gone all week. It was more of that, but different words the rest of the week. So to say I was tested this week, I know, hashtag first world problems, still, it's been trying. And a lot of people say this is the toughest time. If you have kids, if they're little, when they're still in diapers, you understand what this is like. Why did we go on the air or whatever? Why did we start this Periscope at like 12:10 and not 12:00? Because Harper is wearing Peppa Pig underwear for the first time today and didn't quite grasp the concept that if you have to pee, you're wearing underwear to not pee. And as I'm walking out, I said, bye, honey. And she goes, I make a pee-pee. And it was down the leg on the kitchen floor while Quinny is running around clapping like this, splashing. I said, bye-bye. And I left her with our most unbelievably loving nanny in the world who Gosh bless her, she's fantastic. And that was it. And that was this week. So that was my week, and I don't know. I just felt like I should share that with you because you were looking at me going, "Hey, you look like you had a really restful, awesome week," but not so much. Come sit down, have a seat.
Hello, Gab.
Everybody in the back, sit down. Everybody, you don't need to stand up and applaud. We have a bunch of cool people hanging out with us today.
Oh, cool. Hello,
Hello,
guys.
Gab.
How are you?
I am actually
Gab, what'd
going
you
to.
bring?
I brought props this
You
time.
brought
I'm
Some
going
nice
to go
paintings.
into. I'm going to take a break here for a second. Go into vertical mode.
You're gonna go into horizontal mode, you mean?
Horizontal. Yeah, we're in vertical. Actually, we have people here. We'll keep it around for a bit. What do you got there?
Gab, what's happening?
Oh, Gab brought his
Yeah, I brought
show
some
and
to show you.
tell.
Yeah.
You guys, let me introduce you to Gab here. Seamus. Does anyone call you Seamus?
Famous Seamus.
Famous Seamus?
Yeah, or G.
Were
All
your
right, I'm
eyes
going to go into.
always
We're going to go.
blue?
We're going to be back. I'm going to go
Okay,
into
listen, we're
horizontal.
gonna take a
mode.
quick break.
We're
Can
gonna
I
just
just
right
can I-
back. Okay.
Can I throw one more thing at you?
Please.
Because I don't.
It's your show.
It is my show, and I just I don't want you to think I don't appreciate and love and obsess over my children, who are the most two beautiful little creatures you ever saw in your life. I will tweet a picture after this so you see. They don't ever cause me anxiety or stress. This is just one day, a couple days. It was a couple weeks. It's been a couple weeks, but they're wonderful and amazing, and I don't need any tweets telling me that I don't appreciate them, because I love them to death. But I have bags under my eye because the little one wants to wake up at 4 every day. I don't know why. That's her thing. So that being said, now that I've officially said that and thrown that disclaimer out there, we can take a little break. We're going to come back horizontally
In about 30 seconds.
in 30 seconds, and we're gonna
Not gonna-
appreciate
okay,
art.
thanks.
Okay, bye.
Hey, how are
Say
you?
that.